President Trump slamming James Comey after the fired FBI director's closed-door transcripts were released. Trump tweeted, "Leaking James Comey must have set a record for who lied the most to Congress in one day. His Friday testimony was so untruthful. This whole deal is a rigged fraud headed up by dishonest people who would do anything so that I could not become president. They are now exposed." Well, Comey's firing back. He's suggesting Trump was a co-conspirator in the indictment of his former attorney, Michael Cohen.
Not in the formal sense that he's been named in an indictment, but if he's not there, he's certainly close, given the language in the indictment, in the filing, that the crimes are committed at his direction.
All right, let's bring in attorney David Bruno to talk about the legalities of this. And, you know, I heard the question on Friday, and I think it begs repeating today, David. If the president knew about the payments to Stormy Daniels, the hush money, if it came out of his own pocket, that's not campaign finance violations, but this could be a civil suit at the end of the day because the president didn't disclose the payments. Is that enough of a crime to go against President Trump? Is that enough to keep this investigation going by Mueller?
Well, not on its face. That particular statute does require the knowledge and a willful violation. So that would mean that Donald Trump would have had to know that it was an illegal transaction. Here, he's dealing with an attorney. Let's not forget that. He may have been relying on his advice. So, no, that doesn't. Just because it was at the discretion doesn't get you to the knowingly or willful violation that's required by the federal law.
Right. And also the firing of James Comey. And we were just looking at pictures of the president and James Comey. You know, was his firing an obstruction of justice by President Trump? Yes or no? No,
I do not believe so. He does have the constitutional right to make those decisions. So a lot's been made of this. There's a lot more that's going to come out. There's no doubt about that. But at this point, we do not have enough to implicate the president in any crimes.
Okay, let's talk about all of this is at the center of Robert Mueller's investigation. Was there collusion between President Trump and the Russians? Michael Cohen did come back and admit that he lied to the FBI. Michael Cohen came back and said, yes, in fact, Trump associates and Russian operatives. He was trying to put the two together. The meeting never happened. Right. Do you think that Mueller has enough there to continue the investigation as well? Well,
here's what's surprising to me on the Cohen front. When Cohen came in and pled guilty 2 weeks ago to lying to Congress, we all believed that he was going to get out of jail as a result of this. If it was a valuable information to Mueller, that would probably have been the case, but that's not the case. While Mueller is saying that he did, in fact, cooperate with his investigation, it is the Southern District of New Jersey that came out swinging last week and essentially saying that he should get substantial prison.
Right.
He's exposed to 51 months to 63 months in the New York case. And if it was what we thought it was, that it was substantial cooperation from Mueller, right, I would have thought he would have got no jail on the New York sentence
But
as
yeah,
well.
but they're looking for a lot more jail time. You're right. I want you to listen. Again, let's go back to the implications for the president, because he's still at the center of the probe, but he's obviously angry about it, as we read his tweet. Listen to what Adam Schiff had to say about the implications for President Trump.
There's a very real prospect that on the day Donald Trump leaves office, the Justice Department may indict him, that he may be the first president in quite some time to face the real prospect of jail time.
What do you make of that?
Well, what they're talking
about he's out of
about
office
is because I think everyone's agreeing right now that a sitting president cannot be indicted by the Department of Justice. So that would mean, in the event that he's not reelected, there's a very, very small window of statute of limitations for the campaign violation and anything that happened during the 2016 campaign. That is what they're talking about here. If it is in fact true that he can't be indicted, they are going to have a small window to charge crimes if they have, in fact, been committed.
David, we're going to have you back, as always, to talk about the legalities of this, because this investigation is still going.
It
still,
is.
after all this time. David Bruno,
week,
thank
guys.
you, sir. You too.